Are your coping skills helping you or hurting you? This episode will help you really understand the difference between healthy and unhealthy coping skills and how to stick to the healthy coping skills that will help you make more progress and feel even better in the long run. Welcome to Calmly Coping, where I provide overthinkers with actionable tips to cope with anxiety and stress calmly and mindfully. I'm your host, Tati Garcia. I'm a licensed therapist specializing in anxiety treatment. I love running, and I'm addicted to self-improvement books. Join me as I help you understand how to cultivate calm from within while uncovering your unique strengths so that you can live a more fulfilling life. This is episode number 3. Are your coping skills helping you or hurting you? Coping skills are methods you use in order to help you deal with stress, difficult emotions, difficult situations, or overwhelming thoughts. Coping skills can provide you with a distraction or help you soothe yourself in some way. They're incredibly useful for dealing with anxiety and all of the things that might come up when you have anxiety. Overthinking, difficulty breathing, panic attacks, negative thoughts, worries, muscle tension, the list goes on. So coping skills are good, right? The answer is complicated. And I'm going to spend this time today helping you understand the difference so you can manage your emotions, anxiety, and stress in a way that helps you feel calmer and experience personal growth in your life through increased focus, through having better communication with your family, with your significant other, with your friends, through feeling more confident, and through having better performance at work, in school, and in whatever goals you have for yourself. You won't want to miss this if you want to understand the difference between healthy and unhealthy coping skills. Thank you so much for tuning in. This episode is brought to you by my free anxiety journal prompts. Inside Journaling to Calm, you'll find targeted journal prompts to help you identify where you're currently feeling stuck and what you can do to feel more calm, clarity in your life. You can download that at calmlycoping.com/journal. You wake up in the morning feeling anxious about the day ahead and unmotivated in general. All you want to do is stay in bed and scroll through your phone mindlessly. First, you check the time, then you check your email, then you check Instagram, Twitter, email. You scroll through YouTube and can't find a video that's interesting enough to click on, so you just watch the captions for a little while. Sound familiar? Without even realizing it, you are using your phone as a distraction to cope with the lack of motivation you feel. I want to make a clear distinction here. Scrolling through your phone, binge watching TV, or indulging in a dessert as just a few examples, these things aren't bad. They're not unhealthy in and of themselves. And today you're going to learn more about why and when something does start to become an unhealthy coping skill. Here are the key takeaways you will have from today's episode. What unhealthy coping skills are, why you have urges to engage in unhealthy coping skills, how to cope with difficult emotions in a healthy way, along with an action plan with my 2 top questions to ask yourself in any moment you are coping with difficult emotions to help you implement what you learned today. So what are unhealthy coping skills? Unhealthy coping skills are behaviors that typically help you feel better in the moment, but ultimately they are a distraction and a form of avoiding your problems. One example is emotional eating. Maybe you're upset and you're stressed out because you have an interview tomorrow and you're not sure what's going to happen or if you're prepared enough. You're so anxious the night before that you have difficulty focusing. You start feeling hungry, and not just hungry in general, but you're craving sugary, unhealthy food. You grab whatever is in the cabinet, and before you know it, you've eaten a whole bag of chips and some leftover cupcakes. It felt so satisfying in the moment, but now you're left feeling ashamed and regretful. We have all been there. At least, I'm assuming so. The reason this happens is because you feel so anxious and uncomfortable that your body wants to do anything to feel better and to get rid of that feeling. Food causes you to feel better in the moment because your brain releases the feel-good hormones known as endorphins. This feeling is only temporary though, and then you're left with feelings of regret for having lost control. Some other examples of unhealthy coping skills are smoking cigarettes, stopping eating or binge eating, shopping or spending a lot of money, avoiding the problem or the situation, using drugs or alcohol, oversleeping, increased sexual activity as a means of avoidance, and addiction to technology or television. And these are only a few of the examples. So why do you have urges to engage in unhealthy coping skills? Ultimately, it's because emotions can be difficult and uncomfortable. Nobody wants to feel anxious, sad, scared, or lonely. And sometimes you'll do anything to avoid feeling that way. Your body starts to crave something new or exciting or distracting so that you don't have to feel bad. These unhealthy coping skills result in short-term pleasure, but also encourage long-term avoidance of your problems and your emotions. So how can you cope with difficult emotions in a healthy way? Healthy coping skills can help you process your emotions, increase your awareness of the situation, and move you from a negative experience to a positive one. So here's a list of examples of positive coping skills: meditating, journaling, talking to a person for support, creative expression. So this could include art, writing, listening to music, playing an instrument, going for a walk or doing something active, taking a break, taking deep breaths, reading a book, watching something uplifting, or practicing self-care, like taking a relaxing bath, going to the hair salon when that's an option, getting a massage, etc. The reality is, you're not always going to feel ready or feel the desire to meditate or journal. Just take the easiest and healthiest step from where you currently are. So let's say if you're not in the mood to sit down and meditate, maybe that's watching a comedy show on Netflix to make you laugh. Or maybe it's just taking a break from social media. The important part is to listen to yourself. Like I said earlier, doing things like binge watching TV shows, eating some junk food, or laying on the couch all day, those aren't bad things. And sometimes we all need to do those things because sometimes life can be hard. Sometimes you might feel burnt out, you might feel overwhelmed or overworked, or you just need a break. Sometimes your mental health is suffering and maybe you woke up in a bad mood and you just need to take things easy. These are all perfectly fine things, and this doesn't mean that you're coping with things in an unhealthy way. The thing to pay attention to is, are these things helping you recharge and feel better so that you can approach things in a healthier way when you've finally recuperated? Or are these things just helping you to distract yourself from your problems and avoid facing them? So that's my explanation about the difference between healthy and unhealthy coping skills. If you're having trouble identifying how you're feeling in any moment, your behaviors are huge clues. So take a look at your behaviors and your urges. As I said, they're huge clues as to how you're feeling. So to sum up, unhealthy coping skills are behaviors that typically help you feel better in the moment, but ultimately they are a distraction and a form of avoiding your problems. They come from that desire to get instant gratification and to just feel better, and not from that place of wanting to understand yourself and grow. You have urges to engage in unhealthy coping skills because difficult emotions are uncomfortable and your body starts to crave something new or exciting or distracting so that you don't have to feel bad. And healthy coping skills can help you process your emotions, increase your awareness of the situation, and move you from a negative experience to a positive one. So I promise to give you my top 2 questions to ask yourself in any moment you're coping with difficult emotions as your action tips for this episode. Question number 1 is, how are you feeling right now? And question number 2 is, what can you do to feel better and take care of yourself in this moment? This question can help you focus on the present and identify one thing you can do right now to feel better. If you're having urges to engage in something that's going to make you feel worse in the long run, such as drinking alcohol or going on a shopping spree, it can be a sign that you're engaging in an unhealthy coping mechanism that is purely for short-term pleasure and won't benefit you in the long run. So keep in mind, these are general questions and they may not apply to every situation, but they can be a good starting point to really look at and understand your urges behind certain behaviors so that you can cope with your emotions in a healthy way. So I'm going to include these questions in the show notes so that you can reference them. You can also head over to calmlycoping.com/coping to download my reference sheet of 50 positive coping skills for stress and anxiety. This is one of my most popular resources, and it can help give you ideas for healthy coping skills in the moment. Nobody's perfect, so just remember to be kind to yourself, listen to your needs in the moment, and take things one step at a time. If you like this episode, I'd love to know. Please take a screenshot and share it to Instagram stories using the hashtag calmlycoping and tag me at TatianaGLPC. Until next time, be calm. Thanks so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please share this episode with a friend, and please subscribe and leave me a review on iTunes. Also, remember to check me out online at calmlycoping.com and connect with me on Instagram at TatianaGLPC. All content here is for informational purposes only. This content does not replace the professional judgment of your own mental health provider. Please consult a licensed mental health professional for all individual questions and issues. Till next time, I'm Tati, and this has been Calmly Coping.